So I've made a ton of AFL videos on this channel, but one thing to do with AFL that I've never really talked about, and for good reason, because I was kind of worse on this app than what Richmond were in the AFL last season. But that does happen to be Supercoach again. I've never made a video on Supercoach on this channel. To be honest, I've never even watched a YouTube video or been one of those guys who watches a podcast about Supercoach on their way back home. Again, I'm just a chubby fat kid who just likes to play this game on the sidelines and dump a lot of sweat and tears in it and think that I'm going to win the absolute championship, and then 4 of my players go down with an injury. Again, that's the type of person I am. But in saying that, I've had this little itch like a, ice addict that I really want to make a video talking about Supercoach and actually going over the 2025 season and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions, and I guess creating a team with you guys, which we're going to be doing all of that and more in today's video. And I think even reviewing some of the Richmond players' prices, because look, I'm a Richmond fan and I think Richmond are probably the hottest team in Supercoach history this year, because they have probably 1,800 different players who are going to be in everyone in their dad's team throughout the year. So obviously we're gonna talk about them and have a look at them. But again, before I do get into all of that and more, there's still a decent amount of you guys who watch these videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. So, if you want to make me happy more than a KFC Zinger Box meal deal could ever do, please make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for the latest AFL and sports content, and probably not much more Supercoach content, but I'm going to give it my best try. But again, I thought I'd show you guys my dashboard for 2024, because usually I am a very good Supercoach player, and that's no lie. Like, I think in 2023, I won like 4 out of 6 grand finals I was in or something. It was pretty good. But as you can see this year, yeah, my last round score was 2,275. I was ranked top 35%. I was ranked top 13% in the world overall. And my season rank was 2,448 thing. I definitely read that wrong. 24,480 out of 183,694 teams. Again, what an absolute disaster I had last year. If it wasn't 18 players of mine getting injured every round, me just randomly forgetting to trade an injured player out, or me just being at the local pub and sinking too much piss before the footy starts and just forgetting to update my Supercoach, yeah, there was a lot of reasons I had a bad year. But we're going on now to 2025. We are here and we are queer. I'm actually not gay. I just needed something that rhymed there. But again, we get the usual $10 million to spend. But as you can see, it says 0 out of 31 players now. Because if the sub rule wasn't bad enough in the AFL, they have decided to put that shit in Supercoach and call it the flex. I don't know why they've called it the flex, but here we are. And yeah, one of the first things I definitely wanted to do on Supercoach 2025 is go on filters over here, go on teams. I want to go on Richmond and I want to see who the players are. And holy crap, Nick Floston is our most expensive player on 492,000. That can't be right. Please, no. Oh, I think that's just Backman. Thank God. I nearly just had a seizure reading that, because, yeah. I think it got worse when I read that Ben Miller was the 3rd most expensive, and I was like, oh my God. If Ben Miller's the 3rd most expensive all up, we're in a bit of trouble here. But yeah, some cheap options for the Tigers. Gibkiss is only 153,000. That is crazy behavior. Campbell Gray's a defender forward. Luke Trainer's on here. Again, I think Josh Gibkiss will be a guy that we will all want to get and pray that he just doesn't die for the 3rd year in a row. In the midfielders though, Timmy T is still 509k. God, Thompson Dow's our 4th most expensive midfielder. Oh my God, bro. All right, so we've all had a look at that now. We know what's going on. It's time to pick the team, and obviously this isn't going to be my complete team. I mean, I'm probably going to change this team 188 different times before the season, of course, obviously starts. This is very, very rough. Please don't yell at me in the comments saying, why didn't I get this guy? Why didn't I get that guy? Because, yeah, this is going to be extremely rough. But if you want some comments down below of guys who you think could be good for my Supercoach team or will be good for Supercoach in general, let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below, because I'd love to hear your guys' suggestions and who you guys think is going to pop off this year. So definitely let me know down below. Okay, so without further ado, we have the back line here, and of course, you know, we're gonna get a rough estimate of some players I want. I think you got to take Sheasel. I mean, 635s. That's a lot of money for sure. Dan Houston is another guy that, again, I would very much think of taking. I just don't know where his role is gonna go. I feel like the back line, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. I mean, Dan Rioli as well. On Gold Coast, he's going to get so much of the ball, but I just don't know. He's never put up the biggest Supercoach numbers. Again, Luke Ryan at the start was killing it, so I might have to look at him too. His role changed on later in the season. And look, Dan Houston, I think, is still going to put up a lot of points. So for now, like, there's still a 99% chance those aren't my three, like, main primos going into 2025, but I like the look of that now. Midfield is gonna made the very big mistake of not having Bont last year. He started off at like 700k, and I was like, he's gonna come down, and it took him freaking 800,000 weeks to come down. So I won't make that mistake. Neither will I with not getting Nick Dacos. I didn't make that mistake last year, but you know, you gotta have him in the team again. Patrick Cripps. He won the Brownlow. He's a compelling case to, I think, have in there, and so is Errol Goulden. I think I might go Noah Anderson as well, just based off the fact I heard someone say, actually one of my best friends, he thinks that Noah Anderson is a sneaky chance to win the Brownlow. He thinks he will really rise, and I agree. I think this is the year where he's going to take the massive next step and become one of the best players in the AFL. So I'm going to go with him. Petrarca as well, 556,000. I'm not too sure who I'm going to have other than those guys. That'll be my base for the minute. Again, Rux, you gotta have Max Gawn in here, right? You just got to. And Tristan Cherry, I think he'll have another great year. So do I go with him or do I go with English? That's definitely a tough one. We'll put English in for now. And then for the ruck, I think I'm going to go Sims for my backup ruck. I like that look. For the forward line as well. Again, we can't be out here starting off and going too expensive, because you now have an extra player you have to fill out. And look, the forward line's tough. Like, it was tough last year. I think that's where it got a lot of people in Supercoach. It was very tough last year. Again, none of these players are really, really jumping off the page for me as guys I want to get. Jack McRae. Ooh, dude, God, jeez, 392k for Jack McRae on St Kilda. He'll play midfield full time. That's a move I don't know if I can go past. I'm pretty sure as well Bailey Smith, if I haven't gone past him. I heard somewhere he's a forward. I think I've gone past him. I must have. Where is he? Where is Bailey Smith? There he is. All right, we'll bring him in the team. Caleb Daniel is apparently a forward. 269k. He'll probably play every week for North. You got to get that in. He'll be a backman too. Yeah, I like that. You know, let's go on the Richmond players on this list, because as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of Richmond players I think we're all going to bring in here. So Armstrong to start. He'll probably play round one. I will throw in Tom Lynch, and we'll do Steely Green for now, because I think he will, you know, he'll very likely play midfield as well. We'll go Sammy Lawler, Josh Smiley. I think those are for sure locks. And defenders, I probably won't bring in a defender. I don't think many of those guys will play, but I've just automatically added 5 Richmond players to the team, and I think most people will probably be doing that as well. Let's start off as well by getting some of the rookies in here. We'll go to the midfield, and we'll go to the cheapest, because there will be some rookies we will have to get in. Sam Marshall, I don't think will play too early. Neither will Tom Gross. Cooper Hines probably won't. Keiko's a forward. Ooh. Leo Lombard, I think, will probably play pretty early on. Xavier Lindsay might as well. Harvey Langford, I don't know if he will play super early. Elijah Sardis, I think Essendon will play a lot more this year. Jagger Smith will play pretty early on. So will Finn O'Sullivan. They'll all get a nod. Where is Ashcroft? There he is. Those are the really cheap guys. I think a lot of them will play. How many of them I keep in the team? Obviously, this is very, very early on. Sardis might not get picked for round 1. Neither might Lombard for some reason or another. Again, I'd like to start off by adding Travalia in the back line too. I think he'll play pretty early on. Bo Allen in that back line too. Get him in. 136,000 defender / midfielder. I think he'll play pretty early on for West Coast. Josh Gibcus as well. I think he'll hopefully play for Richmond. Taru, I don't know if he will play round 1 because I heard he's got some injuries, but we'll put him in there. We might go another Primo here for the back line, I reckon. We might go another Primo, but who is that Primo? I still have like roster spots I have to fill, so it can't be someone too expensive. Again, Nick Martin, I brought him in last year and he really let me down early on in the year, and I got rid of him and then he cooked me. Bailey Dale was my surprise one I brought in the end of the year, and he did really well for me. Again, I'm still not going to go with Rioli. He'll probably slow down. Again, he's inconsistent, as we know. Rioli, he can be on the Supercoach. Not in AFL. He could still have a game where he only has 14 touches and be super good, but unfortunately, that doesn't always translate to Supercoach. Is Harry Perryman going to play midfield? Because if he does, 417k is not too bad. Actually, how much is Kitty Coleman? Oh, 269k! Holy crap! We'll 100% bring him into the back line. That is a very good price. Joe Barry in the forward line. Will he play early on? Probably. So we'll get him there. Only 140k. You're definitely going to have to add another Primo in the midfield. Zach Butters. I get Zach Butters in every year and he never lets me down. So yeah, I feel like I kind of have to go Zach Butters. And then 2 more, the flex and so the flex can just be anyone. That's interesting. Jack Martin's 150k. We'll chuck him in for now. Again, he probably won't play, but I will just put him in there for now. And then we have 227,000 to spend. So I actually haven't done too bad here on my of course, money-wise and how I've spent. Again, I'm not too sure who I'm going to go with. I could just go pretty safe and do like a Jonty Fall because, again, we'll see who plays and who doesn't. So that possibly is the team for now. Again, I don't know who's going to play in all this and what's going to happen. Again, if we go from the back line, we've got Sheasel, Ryan, Houston, Travalia, Coleman, Allen's in there, Bont, Dacos, Anderson, Lawler, Smith, O'Sullivan, Smiley, Butters. Yeah, English, Gorn, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Martin, Armstrong. Again, chances are like 99% sure, 99.999% sure I should say, this will definitely not be the final team, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised if only 12 of these guys literally make it. But the thing is, yeah, we got to remember that everyone's team changes so much when the teams actually get announced. So when the teams get announced, they'll have a much more clear understanding and much more clear view on who I want in the team, and I guess what Richmond players get picked, because they're the team everyone's going to be watching, because we want to know who the Tigers are, who's going to play. And yeah, obviously because they're the cheap ones, and most of them should be in pretty early contention and make some money. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment all of your thoughts and opinions down below on my Supercoach, and who do you guys think I should add and whatnot? What are your suggestions? Who should I add? Who should I take out? Whatever it's going to be, I'd very much like to know. Subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels too. Links for them will be in the description down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.